Alright guys, it's time to take another in-depth look into the skill lane in Doom 3.4 and beyond. It seems that at the moment skill is by far the hardest lane and has a lot of RNG elements to it, so yeah, it's good idea to sort of look a bit deeper into the team and how they work and what you should be knowing when you're fighting with this team. So here's the team itself. As you can see, my team is quite beefy, but it's still set up in a certain way that hopefully this will be helping you along your way. Firstly, about the composition of the team, how they're set up. I have my Captain Sam on the right side, and behind him is Shang-Chi. You might be asking why Shang-Chi is behind him because Shang-Chi would be taking some splash damage if Sam happens to be taunting. Well, actually, if you really look into it, Shang-Chi can actually take hit quite well. He doesn't have quite the armor stats of Kestrel, but he has other means of survivability. So if we check over here, we can see that he has 775,000 life, 23,000 armor. And when we go to Kestrel, which would be sort of like the next obvious choice to be put behind Captain Sam, you can see that her health pool is a bit lower. Of course, I have one less red star on her as well. She has a bit more armor, which is of course pretty good, but Shang-Chi has other means of survivability, and you can see them in his kits. First of all, when he has a deflect, and he will have a lot of deflects, he will get 20% block amount. And because deflect is a sure block, 100% block, this will actually soak up a lot of damage in the raids. Shang-Chi will be getting those deflects both from his crits and Mariah Hill's basic, if Shang-Chi happens to be the lowest on health. And besides that, Shang-Chi's special, the heal, of course, heals him more than anyone else. So these are the reasons why I'm keeping Shang-Chi behind Captain Sam instead of Kestrel. Kestrel is still in the middle of the team, taking any damage in the middle when we are not taunting. Mariah Hill behind her, and Sharon Carter as the weakest character in the other side, as far away from Captain Sam as possible. The ISO 8s matter, at least I think so. You really need the vulnerables, and of course we have a Shang-Chi with a Raider, which is a really good input of vulnerables. But besides that, I think Captain Sam might be best as a skirmisher to make sure that you have those vulnerables in there, because you can make a lot of use out of those, especially with Sharon Carter. Sharon Carter's basic turn meter rewinding and the ISO 8 attack turn meter rewinding putting slow is super useful, especially in these cases where the nodes are on the verge of being doable easily, but there's a lot of RNG elements, so you want to take all of the advantage that you possibly can. So that's why I really like the skirmisher on Captain Sam and the striker on Sharon Carter for those extra turn meter rewinds. You could also argue for healer on Captain Sam, which would not be a bad idea, but I feel like you just need a bit more vulnerables instead of the heals. And of course, for the same reason, I think Mariah Hill should be a healer, just to make sure that your team is topped off and doesn't just die out of nowhere. Kestrel being a striker is quite self-explanatory, I think. So yeah, that's my setup. And let's go into the notes, and I'm going to be explaining a bit how I play these notes. So first of all, let's go over here. Let's see what kind of characters we have over here. So in the first wave, we have Red Guardian taunting. We have those Asgardians in there. We have Punisher, and we have can't remember her name, but the sort of a sister of Black Widow. And yeah, this first wave for me at least is super easy, and it's all about the second wave when Black Widow and the Hellas and Loki's drop. And in here you need to be super careful about your play, but the first wave doesn't actually really matter. What my goal is in here is to start off with Kestrel Special to dish out some defense downs. Then I use my Captain Sam ultimate to get some speed meter and get some damage in with the Kestrel pings and of course the ultimate from Captain Sam. I will be using Shang-Chi's ultimate as well. It has a fast cooldown, so it will be back again before you enter the next node. I'm using Mariah Hill's special in the first ability as her first ability to get some minions in the field to make sure that you can get the most value out of your defense downs in the field. And of course, they have an option, well, at least a possibility to turn me to rewind the second wave characters, which is super valuable. I'm not using special or ultimate from Sharon Carter because the basic is super powerful, and you don't have to use those in here. Sometimes, depending on how the second wave drops, I might end up using the Sharon Carter special on the second wave, but sometimes also I don't use them at all. I just use the turn meter rewind to make sure that they have vulnerables and make sure that I kill the Hellas before they take a turn. And this way I have both my special and my ultimate up for the second node. So that's how I roll. I'm going to be showing how this gameplay goes, and most likely this is going to be going all RNG on me, but let's see how it works. So team, we are not going to be putting sim, that would be a bad idea, but yeah, let's go at it. The first node is such an fast node to actually play that I would play this carefully instead of trying to hurry, because I don't think you have any time issues here with this team. There's also, of course, the possibility of them just killing you out of nowhere with the first abilities. That just sometimes happens, and then you just have to retreat. But other than that, this is pretty easy. I'm going to be going with the special, like I said. Getting some defense down in there. Going to be going with the Captain Sam ultimate. Getting some damage in. Some people might be worrying about the taunts that Red Guardian and Sif might be doing, but since we have the Sharon Carter passive, removing those taunts and putting some disrupts in there, you don't have to actually clear these in any way. At least I haven't found to be haven't found the use to or the need to actually try to clear those. But yeah, Shang-Chi ultimate definitely. You have always remember to target the ones who have the most buffs, so you get the extra damage out of that. And at this point, if Red Guardian would have that taunt still up, I still wouldn't use my ultimate here. I would just go with the special, the basic, because that's enough. It will be clearing that taunt away. It will be turn meter rewinding, and it will be doing the Kestrel ping. At this point, I'm just hitting him to make sure we get that Kestrel ping. We get the double turn meter rewind, as you can see. And at this point, I'm switching my focus to Heimdall because he's about to take turn soon. And I'm using my special at this point. Now we got a field full of characters be ready to really abuse those defense downs. I could be going over here with the double tap, but I think it's more important to just go over here and give that a Black Widow the defense down. And now I could argue maybe using the special at this point, but I don't think it's needed. I can easily just go with the basic, give that, and remember, I could go it over here just to give that extra crit, but I don't think it's needed. I want to get Black Widow down, and I think the basic might be enough for that. So let's go over here. Yep, that's it. I didn't get Sif down. It was sort of annoying, but it's not that big of a deal. I'm not using my special at this point. At this point, I'm just using the basic, because I want to save that special for the next node in the first wave. When this wave drops, the most important thing is to make sure that you get these Hellas down. And I make sure that they have slows. If you're sort of like not sure if you can make it, you can use the special at this point, but I would save the ultimate. But most of the time I'm just going with the basic, making sure that this guy, this Hela has the slow, and then I'm going to town with the other Hela. I'm going with the basic to try and get those turn meter rewinds with the crits if I can. Then I'm making sure that this Hela has, which I'm trying to kill, has that defense down. This way she will most likely die before the other Hela takes a turn. Now I have a decision to make if I'm going to be using this special. I think I'm going to do that because I want to kill that Sif and get that extra ping to that Hela. And it worked. And now I'm just finishing up that other Hela. I'm usually just taking that hit from that Loki. I haven't found that I can actually kill a Loki, at least in a meaningful way, before he takes a turn. So at this point, it's just like we're doing really fine. We have our cooldowns mostly ready. And like I said, this is sort of a fast mode, and even though I was explaining through the way and taking a lot of process and everything, we still managed to do it in time. But that's my approach on this first wave. The first node. There's always possibilities that things go a bit wrong, and you have to sort of play accordingly and adjust to the situation, of course. But most of the time, if you play it carefully, it will go mostly the same way. All right. The second wave is definitely the one that most of us are concerned about, and there's a lot of elements here that you should be worrying about. We have the AI controlled Silver Samurai, which hits like a truck. So that's something that we need to be worried about, and in the first wave, he's sort of my first target. We also have Anti-Venom, which is sort of annoying with all of the debuffing, and because in the next wave we have more symbiotes, they sort of can start to just snowball you if you let them live. So Anti-Venom is definitely one of the most important targets also in the first wave for me. We have Sabretooth and Wolverine there as well. And I'm not too worried about those guys. And that's because we saved the Captain Sam special. And when we pop off that taunt with the counters, these guys will be just going in and they're trying to chain from my Captain Sam, but because we have the counter, they will be stopping at Captain Sam and they won't be going any further. So their first abilities are sort of wasted, and that's why I'm not too worried about them. The other character that I would sort of worry about in the first wave is actually Morbius. Morbius because Morbius is special, can do a lot of damage in the first turn, and when he takes the second turn and he's about to ultimate, you're most likely out of the taunt from Captain Sam at that point, and he usually can just chain through your team and do a lot of damage. So Morbius is sort of under the radar as well. I'm not too worried about Nick Fury at all, because Nick Fury is just, he doesn't do anything. He tries to do the ultimate, so summoning minions, but we have Kestrel with charges, so he doesn't do anything. And he usually dies before before we go forward. And yeah, the second and sort of the second and half waves, I would say, because it's not sort of a third wave, but it's a part of the second wave, is of course the culmination point of this fight. So if you don't kill too many characters in the first wave, and you let Multiple Man and Anti-Venom, I think Miles Morales drops, at that point, it's the perfect sort of situation for you. Because if you kill too many of them, there will also be that Ghost Rider, which is super annoying. But we saved the Sharon Carter ultimate for him. And of course, Carnage is actually a problematic character here. And that's why we don't usually use the minions in this node unless we are sort of certain that Carnage can't sort of like snowball through the minions and just kill you. So I'm not using minions unless I'm super safe about it. But you can prevent that by playing carefully in the first wave, letting the second wave drop with Multiple Man, targeting Multiple Man and letting him summon dupes in the field to make sure that Ghost Rider doesn't drop before it's time to actually let him drop. Then when you hit Multiple Man a few times, you will get dupes in the field, and then you can get to finish off the characters that you had low from the first wave. And then Ghost Rider will drop, but they will all be at high health, so you won't get that accidental Ghost Rider retaliation hit and kill yourself with those. And if you happen to get a bit of good luck, your Sharon Carter is at a good spot to stun him so that he's low on speed meter. And if you can do that, it's usually just game over for this node. But yeah, there's a lot of things to know about this node. There's a lot of nuances to this node. But I guess I just have to show you how I do it and just pray to the RNG gods that nothing goes wrong when I'm actually trying to do a video, and I've been doing like a long sort of introduction for this node before we get into there. So fingers crossed. Let's see how it goes. I might time out on this. I'm warning you. I'm timing out mostly because I'm trying to explain what I'm doing at the same time. So don't worry about that. Usually when you're playing on your own, you won't have that kind of issues that I'm having. Alright, so that was good. Morbius special doesn't kill anyone, so that's sort of perfect. I'm actually doing this basic, starting from Silver Samurai. I'm hoping to hit that Anti-Venom. After this, I'm using the special on the next waves, but now I'm using the whatchamacallit special, and I'm targeting that Silver Samurai just to get some extra hits over there. We're gonna be using this ultimate. It won't be there aren't any buffs in there, so we don't get the extra damage, but it's sort of not an issue at this point. Now I'm actually usually I'm using my special at this point. And we could go with the special over here, but I'm sort of like tempted to go over here because I want to get those defense down all over the board. But the good thing about special over here is that we get the ISO 8 attack on Anti-Venom, speed meter rewind him a bit. So let's try if that works out. So now I'm experimenting while I'm doing a video of how I approach this node, and that's sort of bad. Yeah. Play it safe. Play it safe. Don't do it like I do. Do it like I say. Alright. So the basic is super good at this point because we don't have characters super low. We'll get to deflect on our lowest character. We got 2 kills, and out of that we got Ghost Rider and the rest of the wave to drop, which is bad, but yeah, we just have to work around it. Now I'm using the special over here. I'm trying not to kill that Morbius because we don't want that extra hit until I get that stun on him. Um, Now I'm actually, let me see. Let me see. We can do the basic on multiple different points, but the few characters that I'm worried about are definitely Ghost Rider and Carnage. Carnage is annoying. Ghost Rider, I think, is more important to get down, but I'm still going over here, and hopefully we can get that Carnage down soonish. If I'm getting the, let me see, the basic over here, we can get the vulnerable on Ghost Rider. This way our stun will be doing the isolate attack as well, and that's the why we can actually turn meter rewind and stun him at the same time. So we lost our Captain Sam, which is bad news, but it happens. At this point, we actually killed Carnage, so we can actually use these minions right now. And I'm wondering whether I should be just going over here. I think I'm going to be doing that. And now we have a good spot to actually stun this Ghost Rider. And now we're just making sure that Ghost Rider dies from the pings, hopefully. And everyone else goes along the same way. Alright, so let me think about it just a second. Like I said, I'm going to be timing out because I'm explaining and doing stuff at the same time. But I'm going to be going from here because I wasn't sure if that basic would be killing him, so I wanted to double tap, and that would be definitely killing him. I'm gonna be going over here because I want to kill that Wolverine before he does that ultimate. And now we're in a situation where we just have to start doing something before we are killed. And there goes our Kestrel, which is bad. So you can see Shang-Chi actually can take a hit. Alright, and here we get the second anti-venom back in the field. And at this point, it's looking so bad that I think I'm gonna be losing this node. I'm gonna be doing one more attack, one more basic on Ghost Rider just to get him down a bit. Actually, I'm doing the ultimate just to heal these guys up so that I have to heal after this. Nope. I'm gonna be pausing and pause. Come on, menu. Yeah. Okay. The timeout went anyway, so that's good. So yeah, sometimes it just goes like that, and yeah, there's nothing you can do about it. So you just have to play it in the best way that you can at that point. And like I said, I only lost one character. Most of my characters are at a good spot, so I think I can finish this off. It's not going to be a problem, but it's definitely not in a great place either because we have Ghost Rider in there and we have a few symbiotes and whatever else. Luckily, we got the Carnage down already, so that's a good thing. But yeah, sometimes you can just one-shot it with this sort of a tactic, and yeah, I'm hoping that you got something out of this. It's definitely the hardest lane at the moment, but if you understand how the lanes work, how the waves work, which characters to watch out for, which characters to focus, which abilities to use at which point, I think you're gonna be fine. You might need some healing sometimes, you might need some resettings at some times, but if you sort of understand the basic mechanics, I think you will be fine in the end. But yeah, hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please like and subscribe. You know the drill, and see you on the next one. Bye!